Hey, it's Ben Kafitz here, your realty expert and slowly becoming your traffic expert. This is an update to my video that I did on May 23rd, 2023. It's currently August 1st, 2023, so a little more than 2 months ago. I went out onto the intersection at Allen Road in Eglinton at around 3:10 p.m. and recorded for about 15 or so minutes. I've got about 4 light exchanges at the southbound ramp of Allen and Eglinton and about 4 light exchanges at the northbound ramp at Eglinton and Allen. So over the next 15 minutes, this video will give you a good example of what's going on here. And please stay tuned because after that, I'm going to go over some drawings and suggestions.
Okay, so it's been 2 months since my last video. As you can see, the cars coming off the bottom of Allen Road can't move. They've got the green light right now because cars over here have entered the intersection when there's no room for them. So these 2 cars swung around and that guy got through. So that was 3 cars made it through that light exchange. I'm going to hang around for one more light exchange. Okay, so as you can see, the left onto Allen North is got a red, and cars heading eastbound on Allen have backed up to a point where they still have a green. So now they got a yellow, now they got a red. So now, as you can see, the eastbound straight lane is completely clogged by the leftbound turning traffic. And let's see how many cars make it through. There's a bit of room this time, so we got 1, 2, 3. Now, if memory serves me correct, if this wasn't jammed up and the cars that are coming south off Allen turning left to go east on Eglinton, during the light exchange, the green light, I believe it's about 20 to 25 cars can make it through. And so far we've got 3 guys that squished in there, 3 cars. The van is not going ahead. He doesn't want to block the intersection. And the light exchange is now sort of complete. We've got a green, but it just turned green for Allen North, so it's finally going to clear up. Let's watch and see what happens. By the way, it is 3 o'clock p.m. on a Tuesday, August 1st, and we are in low season for traffic because there's approximately, between students and staff, almost 300,000 people attending just the Toronto District School Board alone. That doesn't include the other surrounding school boards. So traffic would be lighter now than normal on an August Tuesday afternoon. So let's wait a full light exchange. Okay, so the left-bound onto Allen North has red, of course, again. And the light for the eastbound traffic is still green. And it looks like now with this van being here, the eastbound straight lane is now totally blocked, van and cab. So now the eastbound traffic has the red light. Okay, now southbound has green. The van is going to make it through. That's pretty much the only one that can make it through without blocking the intersection. Let's see what happens. And the van is now unknowingly probably pulling into the left-hand turn lane, not the straight lane. This Dodge Ram pickup truck is going for the correct lane, but of course, and the Mercedes behind him is, of course, in the middle of the intersection, which is where he'll wait till it changes. And they will all make it through. These 3 will make it through, I should say. But yeah, the light is now turning red. And Mercedes is pulling around, so we have 3 cars. So far I'm averaging 3 cars per light exchange, southbound Allen to eastbound Eglinton. Pretty much what I reported almost 2 months ago for my previous video. And now it's going to clear up because the left-hand advanced is running and straight traffic is coming through. The van is just realizing he's in the wrong lane and changing out, trying to get out. And so we had 3 cars go through that light exchange, and I believe 3 the previous one. So now I'm going to just continue on this side of the intersection, and I'm going to count the time that the light runs for by the second. Oh, this is going to be a good one. Water truck is he going straight, or is he trying to get into the left? No, it looks like the water truck is going straight through. Good. He's not going to block the intersection. Again, we're at 3:11 p.m. Tuesday, August 1st. And again, the straight Eglinton East is blocked up. This time with a little more room. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, counting the seconds, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. I think that was about 40 seconds, that light exchange before it went red. Just counting from my screen timer, so I'm not sure how accurate that is, but it's going to be within a few seconds. And it looks like a few more cars went through that time, still only 4 or 5. And my estimate would be that you'd get about 30 cars through in 40 seconds if this wasn't jamming up. All right, that's a great sample. I've got 6 minutes, 7 minutes of video here on this side of the intersection. Again, now 3:12 p.m. on Tuesday, August 1st. Low traffic season, schools are out. And around now would be, picking up the beginning of school traffic after 3 o'clock. So I'm now going to head over to the other side of the intersection and see what's going on with the westbound to north traffic. I'm going to give this 1 more minute here and see if this jams up again. Yeah, with that truck and trailer, they still have a green light. And those cars are all trying to get over into the double left-hand turn lane. Oh, this is a good one. Now there isn't even room for cars to try and swing around. So let's watch this one. So one car is heading into the intersection, and it's going to be right in the middle of it for now. And this guy stopped here to leave a car length for some reason. Let's see how many cars get through this. So far we're averaging 3. Unless that van 2 cars back swings out and around, he's not getting through either. So that might just be 2 for this intersection. See what happens. Still a green light for the southbound ramp. Still a red light way over there for the left onto the north. Okay, so now the northbound light has its left. This will free up, but the southbound has a red now. So that means just the Honda and the Nissan got through. So 2 cars. So we're from 3 to 2 cars, averaging, I guess, 2.5 to 3 cars now. All right, that's it for this side of the intersection. I'm going to go head over to the other side and see what's happening. Okay, so here we are, other side of the intersection. Cars turning left, no problem. Bike light is red. Pedestrian is do not walk. Straight is red, all red from this side. We do have a bike here. In the times I've watched this intersection, this is one of the first times I've seen a bike here. And I noticed there has been installed a pedestrian push to cross button where the fellow on the scooter is. Okay, so now we have, of course, the advance for bikes and pedestrians, which in this case was useful. 1 bike, 2 pedestrians. And now all these cars here are wondering why they can't turn at this point. We have the pedestrian countdown. 2 and 1. Straight is getting yellow, bike light is yellow, bike light is red, and let's see how many cars get through on this right-hand turn. So we've got 1, 2, 3, truck, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, one behind the truck, 26, and 27 is hitting the yellow, 28 is running the red. So there was a couple of trucks in there, I counted 28. There was more cars, I could call that 30. I don't know if you noticed at one point the car hesitated because it looked like the pedestrian standing there were going to step out into the intersection. So now the eastbound to North Allen is got its advanced. Now in this case, of course, we have pedestrians here, but in the near future, when the station is open, pedestrians won't be crossing there. They'll be going under. So we've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, counting seconds, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Okay, we'll call it about 30 seconds. Pedestrians and bikes get. In this case, there was no bike, only pedestrians, which of course would have gone underground if the other entrance was open. 10, 12, 13, counting seconds again. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. Okay, so about 30 seconds. And what I determined from the last count is that in 30 seconds, about 30 cars get through. Makes sense? 15 cars each lane, double lane. So now, again, for this cycle, this sequence, we have a cyclist and a pedestrian. Again, pedestrian would have been using the tunnel, so it's just for the cyclist. So what I'm seeing right now is, at least in my short time here today, 50% of the time, the advanced for the cycle is just not necessary. And if there was a push to cross, it would have allowed another 30 cars to get through. Let's keep watching. So in this case, a push to cross for the cyclist would have been necessary because there was a cyclist. But push to cross for pedestrian would have been unnecessary, even though there was one today. There won't be when the station is open. And as you can see, I don't know if you can see, try and zoom in here. The traffic is backed up to the other side of Bathurst. You can see that. And I'm getting a nice finger from somebody. That's what I'm doing, sir. Thank you. Well, I guess I got a fan. I should be giving out business cards. Just watch this one more time. So we know that in roughly 30 seconds, 30 cars can get through. And let's see what happens to this light exchange when the pedestrian gets its crossing. I don't think she pressed the button. I didn't see her step over there and press the button. So It actually, now that I'm looking closer from across the street here, it looks like it's got a symbol on it. Hang on, let me do a count. Oh, sorry, no count yet. We want to count when the pedestrian goes. But it looks like we got a symbol on there that says button for audio only, which means it's not actually functioning to control the lights. Okay, so let's assume in the near future the station entrance is over here is complete and people are not crossing the street. Let's see how many cars could make it through in a light exchange, assuming it was pushed across for pedestrian and pushed across for bicycles. Let's see how many cars we can get through. Okay, so we have a green and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. I call it 30 seconds. So right now the timing is so that bicycles and pedestrians get 30 seconds to cross even when they're not there. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, car shut, 28, car behind, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, almost 40. Oh, almost pushed 40 cars through. If you count the truck, that could have been 2 cars. So let's call it 40. 40 people could make it through at that during that time that the pedestrians and bicycles have to cross when there's no one there. I do admit there was a couple times people there. So far, 50% of the time no bikes, and there were pedestrians, but the pedestrians in the future again will use the station entrance and not cross the street. And we're still backed up to, again, we're still backed up to the other side of Bathurst at 3. We're now at 3:24 on a.
Okay, so I think that was a great example of what's going on here. Again, keep in mind, this is 3:10 starting to about maybe 3:25, 3:30 on a Tuesday afternoon, August 1st. Schools are closed. TDSB is closed. That's about TDSB staff and students makes about 300,000 less commuters. Obviously, all the kids don't drive, but their parents sometimes drive them around. Still a lot of people. People are on vacation, summer vacation, whatnot. So traffic is typically later in August than it would be in, say, September. Now, during rush hour, of course, we have the traffic wardens. The city has been setting up traffic wardens, basically from 4 to 6 and 7 to 9, Monday to Friday. 2 of them typically, but that equates to about 2,000 hours over a year of staff time. And I'm pretty sure that they are not getting paid minimum wage, so that's going to be an expensive bill dealing with the situation. So what do we need to do to correct it? Okay, let's start with this. First of all, the drawing you're looking at here is something that was sent to me a few years ago. Somehow the 4 lanes north got converted into 2 lanes north. When I ask questions about that, I've been told that Transportation Services, basically City of Toronto, said it was too expensive to make it 4 lanes north, so they made it 2 lanes north. When I bumped into engineers on the street in the area, they tell me that 4 lanes north is possible, and there are some engineering concerns, I guess, of what's going on under the area to be widened, but they say it's totally possible. Of course, now it's going to be even more expensive to redo it, because it's been done once, of course. It's always the case. So so the first step I think we need to really do is to widen to 4 lanes. Once we have 4 lanes here, in this drawing, there's some kind of median or curb or concrete here that separates the 2, just making it safer so right and left can turn at the same time. You've got this little island here, again, because there's no reason for cars to be in that area at the time, anytime during the light sequences. And number one, we go to 4 lanes. Number two, we have a pedestrian push to cross button here. I do note, and I think I mentioned in my video when I was on the street, that there is one that's been added, but on closer inspection, it only produces an audio signal, so that's not gonna, doesn't affect the light timing at all. So not very helpful at this point. So we need to make that push to cross actually trigger pedestrian crossing and have a matching one for bicycles. Right by the bicycle lane should be a second button again that does the same thing. Because in theory, the traffic going westbound to go north on Allen Road could be continuous, if that's the case. Because the only thing stopping that traffic from turning is going to be pedestrians or bicycles. Now, in the near future, the east entrance will be open, and the vast majority of pedestrians will enter the subway there and not cross the street. Of course, freeing up more traffic to flow. It could mean a virtually continuous right-hand turn to North Allen if nobody presses a button. And that's, of course, only if there's 4 lanes, because now the eastbound traffic that wants to go northbound on Allen Road can make their turn at the same time. Now, the only reason that would stop, again, we have a push to cross button for bikes and pedestrians. Most pedestrians are going the secondary entrance. So the right and left could be virtually continuous. The only exception, of course, cars going straight across Eglinton. And the time I've spent in the area generally watching traffic, there's probably 1 car going straight for every 50 that are turning north. People generally coming to this area are not coming to this area to just pass through. They want to access Allen Road. So simply, the left-hand turn could be continuous unless a car pulls up into the straight-through lane, put a sensor on the road, and then when a car is there, it triggers a light sequence for them to be able to go straight. Now, that light sequence, if it's just for the cars going straight, doesn't need to include pedestrian and bicycles. While these cars are going straight across Eglinton westbound, the westbound to northbound traffic could continue. Again, making the turn from Eglinton westbound to Allen northbound continuous. We've got traffic backed up all the way to the other side of Bathurst, to the top, typically to the top of the hill at Old Forest Hill, east of Bathurst. Okay, what's next? Allen continuous eastbound traffic. Okay, so again, now the eastbound traffic, the straight through, not a lot of traffic going that way, but they'd be fairly continuous as well. Let's move on to the other side of the intersection here. Here we have, I'm not sure if my video here is in the way, but here we go. All right, so we've got the southbound ramp here. And this area here where it says Eglinton Avenue West, this is where the congestion is happening. But if the eastbound traffic, which is either going straight east or then north onto Allen Road, is continuous, well, then when this light turns red, this won't get backed up. If this doesn't get backed up, all of a sudden the cars going south off of Eglinton, south off of Allen Road, I'm sorry, to turn left or east onto Eglinton will never get jammed up. So instead of like in my video where 2 to 3 cars are getting through per light, you're going to have 25 or 30 cars going through per light, all of a sudden freeing up Allen Road South. So that's sort of it for the drawing here. A couple of points to mention. I know that being a cyclist myself, avid cyclist for years, not so much these days, but I did grow up in the city riding bikes. I do know that cyclists like to ride their bikes and look ahead at the lights and look at the light sequence as they're approaching and time their speed so they can catch a green light. They don't have to come to a stop. I understand that. And if we have a push to cross for pedestrians through this intersection and a push to cross for cyclists, obviously they're going to have to stop. So listen, you can't get every green light. That's life. It doesn't always happen. And by the benefit of freeing up the intersection and not having the sequences preventing cars from turning is huge. I mean, think of the environmental damage we have. We've got literally 150, maybe 200 cars. I didn't count them, but the cars, that's a long distance from Allen Road to the other side of Bathurst, up the hill to Old Forest Hill. Got cars jammed up, all running and idling. Most of them are still gas cars. Waste of gas, environmental damage, waste of people's time. The amount of human time that's wasted sitting there in traffic. People could be spending time with their families. Even electric cars. I mean, yes, they're not going to pollute, but they are going to burn energy. They're going to have their air conditioning running, the technology is going to be running, and that's also a waste of energy. And of course, the backup, as we all know, leads to road rage, which puts a big risk on pedestrians as well. I know there's been at least one or two incidents where pedestrians or workers have been injured during this time and all this backup. And even in my video, you'll notice one guy, I'm not sure why, but he gave me the finger. He must have thought I worked on the project and was part of the problem. But the funny part was the guy right after him was giving me kudos. I guess he realized I was trying to be part of the solution. Anyway, so you got the backup, you got the road rage, and that spills into the neighborhood. All the residential streets east and west that run north and south to Eglinton are all getting jammed up with cars that don't want to sit in all the backup on Eglinton all the way back to Bathurst. So they're trying to cut through the neighborhood to get to Allen Road closer. But what that's doing now is entire streets in the neighborhood east and west of Eglinton and north and south are getting jammed up by cars that can't turn. Most of them are turning illegally. Which is a whole other, that's not being enforced. That's a whole other conversation. But and what's happening is people who live in the neighborhood can't even get home. They're sitting for 15 minutes to go 1 block to get into their own driveway with their kids in the car, trying to move on with life, and they just can't. It's just so frustrating. But if Eglinton had a continuous turn northbound onto Allen and had virtually no traffic on it, then nobody would cut through the neighborhoods. It would end the traffic. It would end the environmental damage. It would end the road rage and just clear the streets up. So yeah, I think that covers pretty much what I wanted to touch on in this video. I'm here to support the cause. I can be reached by email, bkayfetz@gmail.com. Website is rltyxprt.ca. Please feel free to reach out with any questions or comments. You can also leave comments below in the video. Always appreciated. And that's what I have for now. This is Ben Kafetz, your realty expert, signing out.